तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे विंध्यावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं। परमानन्दं माधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरं नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमः श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. So, what we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 5, titled as Narad's Instruction on Srimad Bhagavatam for Vyasadeva, and we are reading from verse number 31. Yenevaham bhagavato Vasudevasya vedasah Mayanubhavam idam Yene gachanti tatpadam Yenevaham bhagavato Vasudevasya vedasah Mayanubhavam avidam Yene gachanti tatpadam Yenevaham bhagavato Vasudevasya vedasah Mayanubhavam avidam Yene gachanti tatpadam Yenevaham bhagavato Vasudevasya vedasah Mayanubhavam avidam Yene gachanti tatpadam Yena by which Eva certainly Aham I Bhagavataha of the personality of Godhead Vasudevasya of Lord Shri Krishna Vedasha of the Supreme Creator Maya energy Anubhavam influence Avidam easily understood Yena by which Gachanti they go Tatpadam at the lotus feet of the Lord. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. By that confidential knowledge, I could understand clearly the influence of the energy of Lord Krishna, the creator, maintainer and annihilator of everything. By knowing that, one can return to Him and personally meet Him. Purport. By devotional service or by the most confidential knowledge, one can understand very easily how the different energies of the Lord are working. One part of His energy is manifesting the material world, the other superior part of His energy is manifesting the spiritual world. And His intermediate energy is manifesting the living entities who are serving either of the above mentioned energies. The living entities serving material energy are struggling hard for existence, and happiness, which is presented to them as illusion. But those in the spiritual energy are placed under the direct service of the Lord in eternal life, complete knowledge and perpetual bliss. The Lord desires, as He has directly said in Bhagavad Gita, that all conditioned souls rotting in kingdom of material energy come back to Him by giving up all engagements in the material world. This is the most confidential part of knowledge. But this can be understood only by the pure devotees, and only such devotees enter the kingdom of God to see Him personally and serve Him personally. The concrete example is Narad himself, who attained this stage of eternal knowledge and eternal bliss. And the ways and means are open to all, provided one agrees to follow in the footsteps of Sri Narad Muni. According to Shruti, the Supreme Lord has unlimited energy without effort by Him, and these are described under the three principal headings as mentioned above. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Actually, if we look at it, if we look at this verse, what's happening is Vyasadeva was confused because he wrote all the Vedas and everything, and he thought he's done a great service for the humanity, and he was not happy. And then Vyasadevji's guru, who is Narad Muni, came, and Narad Muni, when we pass comments, you've done such amazing work on dharma, artha, kam and moksha. You must be really happy. And then suddenly Vyasadeva thinks, oh, no, I'm not actually happy. I've done everything for Kali people, but I'm not happy. And then Narad Muni said to him, and then he asked Narad Muni, why am I not happy? Then Narad Muni gave him the instruction that, you haven't discussed Vasudeva in detail, specifically. Everything that you've discussed, you mentioned Bhagwan here and there, but you mentioned more of dharma, artha, kama, and then moksha, which is, religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. That's it. You did not speak about Krishna, Bhagwan as himself. So now what's happening with this is, now in this shlok, in this verse, it is talking about the confidential knowledge. Now, what's happening? If you can still see there, no? So I'm going to go to the whole chapter here, not this section. So here, Suta Goswami said, he addressed the Vyasadeva, and what did he say? He says, you can see it in there. He says, your inquiries are full of your studies and well fulfilled, and there is no doubt that you have prepared a great and wonderful work of Mahabharata, which is full of kinds of Vedic secrets elaborately explained. And then he says, all you said about me is perfectly correct, but I am not pacified. What do I do? And then Narad Muni said, you have not actually broadcast the sublime and spotless glories of personality of Godhead. That philosophy which does not satisfy the transcendental senses of Lord is considered worthless. Worthless. So when we studied all this trigonometry, geometry and everything, it's actually worthless. Now, I was talking to someone. He said, I said, hey, do you know A plus B whole square is equal to A square plus B square plus 2AB? He said, yes. I said, when was the last time you used it? And he said, when I was in grade 7 in the exam. That's it. So, but those things are important when we are talking about, physics and all of the people who are engineers, they use some of those things. But is that the purpose of life? To create amazing buildings, amazing stuff, beautiful stuff. Someone was telling me, my goal of life is to retire at the age of 50. And I said, okay, that's a good thing, but what are you going to do? Brilliant, you want to retire? And so you have a goal, which is good. A lot of people don't have a goal. But that's not the goal. Look, what are you going to do? Look, suppose you retire, then he goes, nothing, I'll just enjoy. I said, Tell me why, how are you going to enjoy? Tell me, like, what are you going to do? You get up in the morning, what time you get up? He goes, 6 o'clock, okay. What are you going to do after 6 o'clock? You have nothing to do, yeah? Nothing. He said, nothing, I'll just get up, go for a walk. I said, yes, after that. He said, come home. I said, after that. I said, I have breakfast. After that. He said, then, and he got released. His face changed. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do because I have nothing to do. I don't have to go to work. I have money and everything. I'm retired. He has nothing to do. And then I was telling him, he's a science student. So I said, what is the vacuum? What is the vacuum means? If there is no air in this if there is a pocket where there's no air, that means there's a lot of pressure coming from outside to inside. As soon as you remove this layer, the pressure will go inside and it will fill up the vacuum. And what will fill up the vacuum? Whatever is around it. So if you have all the time in the world and nothing to do, what will fill your time? Whatever is around you. So what is around you? Netflix. You have binge TV or whatever it is. And then you have all those friends who have no goals as well. Then you might have people you go outside and you say, okay, I want this car. No. Everyone is driving this car, so I'm going to drive this car. No. There are 4 people in my community have this car. No, I don't want this car. I want the other car. And then what will happen is all the vacuum will be filled up by things that you don't even want right now. So then he told, I left him like that. I did not preach him anything. I left. And 3 days later he called me. He said, Brijesh, I want to talk to you. He said, my goal of retiring at 50 is gone now. I don't know. Please can you tell me what I can do? And I told him that first find out what do you want. Do you want to be happy in life? What do you want to do? He said, happy. I said, happiness comes from this. There is a verse. Where is it? Yatha taror mur nishechnena trapyanti taskandha bhujo pushakha prano paharajya yathendriyanam tatheva sarvanam achyutta teja. Yatha taror mur nishechnena. The way a taro means tree. Tree, the roots of the tree, when you actually water the roots of the tree, Trapyati taskandha bhujopashakha, everything gets nourished. The plant, the leaves, the stem, and everything gets nourished just by pouring the water in the root of the tree. Similarly, pranopaharash yathendriyana, prana, that means our life here. How does it happen? When we eat food, it goes to the stomach, the whole body gets nourished. Similarly, tatheva sarvanam achyuteja. Similarly, all we have to do is achyut. Achyut is Krishna's name. When you surrender to Krishna, who is in charge of all the senses, when you nourish him, everything gets nourished. And then I didn't tell him this shloka, by the way. I just told him that when you water the root of the plant, everything gets nourished. You need to find out what can I nourish that will nourish me. And then he asked me who said the Lord. And he said, then how does it work? And I told him, because we come from, who is our root? Our root is Krishna. So if we satisfy him, we'll get satisfied. And then, obviously in here, let's go back to the verse. And then, where did it go? Then Narad Muni said, look, that's what you have to do. And then we keep going, and then we come to this. He's talking, Narad Muni is talking, and then he is coming to this verse, which is today's verse, which is 31, which says, it's a confidential knowledge. I could understand clearly the influence of energy of the Lord Krishna, the creator, maintainer, and annihilator of everything. By knowing that, one can return to him and personally meet him. Now, the purport is exceptional. Like if you look at the purport, it talks about devotional service by or by the most confidential knowledge. You know, in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7 is called knowledge of the absolute, which is absolute knowledge. You know? The first verse of that thing says, Bhagwan, Krishna starts talking. Maya satmana partha yogam yenjam madashraya asanchayam samagramma yatha gyashasya tashunu. Tashunu means listen. Now listen. Maya asakta manaha partha. Supreme Personality of Godhead said, now here, which is Tashunu. How? By practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full. And then you will have no doubt. Krishna started this chapter with this, you know, and Krishna Prabhupada wrote an amazing purport. And then he says, Krishna says, Jnanam teham sa vijnanam idam vakshyam asheshitaha yagyatvanehe bhuyonyaj gyatavya ashvishya vashishyate. He says, now I shall declare to you in full this knowledge, which is the most absolute knowledge, both phenomenal and numinous. And this being known, nothing further shall remain. Krishna clearly says, once you know this, nothing you need to know. You don't need to know A plus B whole square, what it is, you know. And then, next verse he says, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatiti siddhe yatitam api siddhanam kaschit mam veti tatvata. He says, but, I'll give you this knowledge, but Manushyanam sahasreshu means millions and millions of, out of millions and millions of humans, kaschit yatiti siddhe, very among, out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection. Kaschit, बहुत कम, very small amount. Yaditam api siddhanam kaschim mavik. And out of those as well, very small, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly knows me the truth. So it's like rarest of the rare of the rare. You know? That's what he's talking about. Now, what he's talking about? He's talking about that supreme knowledge. Now, this is an amazing purport as well. When you have time, please read it. And then he says, what is it? Then he says, Bhumi rapo naro vayu kammano buddhirevacha ahankari diyame bhinna prakatishta ashtadha. He says, earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego. Panch Mahabhut, which is 5 things that we are made out of, and then mind, intelligence, false ego. All together, these 8 constitute my separated material energy. Now he's talking about what is material, what is spiritual. So like the purport that we have read. And he says, the material part of this is earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence and false ego. Then he goes, apareyam mitastam manyam prakritim vidime param jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam dharite jagat. And then he says, after this material thing, there is another superior energy of mind, which is comprises of living entities. He says, Jiva Bhutam Mahabaho Yedam Dharite Jagat. Living entities are superior energy who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. We as superior soul than material nature, we are trying to use the material nature and extract everything out of it so that we can be happy. And then he says, Krishna says, Etadhyonidhi bhutani sarvani yut aparadhaya aham krishnasya jagatah prabhava pralayasthatha. All created beings have their source in these two natures, either what? Material or spiritual. And of all that is material and all of all that is spiritual in the world, know for certain that I am both the origin and dissolution. I am the one who is creating material and spiritual both. Now, let's go back to the verse. Srila Prabhupada says that confidential knowledge, if we have that confidential knowledge that there is material and spiritual, one can understand easily how different energies of the Lord are working. So, this thing is material, this is material, but me as a living being I am superior than this because I have an conscious, you know, I have soul, I have soul, and that soul is spiritual. So the problem with this human body is that we are called Tatastha Shakti. Tatastha Shakti means marginal energy. Marginal energy. There is superior energy, there is inferior energy. Inferior energy is material energy, superior energy is spiritual energy. But there is one in the middle, which is called marginal energy. And we, as human beings, we are marginal energy. What does that mean? That means we have a choice. Look, animals don't have a choice. You know, a lion is born as a meat eater. Has no choice. You know, you feed him grass, he will die. You know? All the yonis, all the what do you call it? Animal yoni and all of those things are bhog yoni. Bhog yoni means they are here to accept the karmic reaction they have done in the past. So they don't create any karmas. Karma is only created by human beings. You know? So human beings are superior energy, and that we have a choice of choosing what? We have a choice to choose to be either. Prabhu, is it a possibility that it can go to? I can't see the time. I don't have.
8:45. 8:45.
Okay. So Prabhu, you let me know when to stop, because Prabhu said that whenever Prashadam comes, I can stop.
Prashadam is
already here. So what time do we finish this? 9 o'clock?
Yes, 9:30.
9:30. Okay. What's the time now again?
8:45.
Oh, we've got plenty of time.
1 hour total.
Yeah. Okay. Because I have few things to share. So we have marginal energy. We have a choice to either become Krishna conscious or Maya conscious. We are here. We are actually servants. Either we can serve Maya or we can serve Krishna, Lord, Supreme. Whoever does not serve the Supreme, it's like a vacuum we were talking about. It's a vacuum. If it's a vacuum, what will fill it in? Maya. Maya will fill it in. If the degree we are not surrendered to Krishna, to that degree we are surrendered to Maya. And that is the truth. So he's saying, Srila Prabhupada here is saying is, we can understand easily how different energy of Lord are working. One part of his energy is manifested in material world, and another part of his energy is manifested in spiritual world. And his intermediate energy is manufacturing in living entities. This is what we are talking about. We are who? Marginal energy, intermediate energy. You know, we are at the cusp. We are at the door. We are at, Delhi's pay. We are on the doorstep, and we can either choose to go inside or outside. Outside is Maya, inside is Krishna. It's our choice. You know how many people are here today? Whoever is here today, they have made a choice to come here. Yeah? They have made a choice to come here. That choice we always have. Right now I had that choice yesterday. I will have that choice tomorrow as well. Mataji, you can come. Is there a heater over there? Okay, that's fine. Stay there. I was going to ask you to, if there is no heater, you can come and sit over here. So that's okay. So intermediate energy. So the living entities, so in here, we are marginal energy, and we actually are very, very interested in only one thing. We're interested in one thing. We're interested in being happy. Now, everyone, whether he is a Krishna conscious person, whether he is a Muslim, whether he is Christian, whether he is an atheist, whether he is Buddhist, everyone is looking for one thing: happiness. Now, the choice that they made is based on what? Their knowledge, their understanding. And where does the understanding come from? The level they have. For example, if a 5-year-old, my son is 8-year-old, if I start teaching him calculus, he would not understand it. Because he does not have that kind of a capacity as yet. Similarly, we all have different capacity as a human being. And that's why we have Christianity, we have Islam, we have Buddhist, and all those sort of different teachings. Because people who are in a different mindset, different caliber, different bent of mind, they get that kind of a teacher. So sometimes we think that So can you tell me who chooses what kind of knowledge I will get? Whose choice is it?
Our own choice.
Our own choice. But why don't we make a choice to get the highest knowledge then? Like simple, eh?
Ignorance.
Sorry?
Ignorance.
Ignorance, yeah. But where is that ignorance come from? What is the root cause of ignorance? Anyone?
Lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge.
Yes, lack of knowledge. Now, where do we get knowledge from?
Scriptures.
Shastras. But who can read Shastras?
One who is learned.
Who's learned? Now it's a catch-22 now. If you don't have knowledge, you don't know what to read. If you don't know what to read, what are you going to spend your time in? Catch-22. Now, how do we break that cycle? How does the cycle get broken? Like for example, I don't know about you, but me, I am very deep, dark well of ignorance. Still there, but still climbing up a little bit, but still deep, dark well of ignorance. How did I manage to start reading Srimad Bhagavatam Bhagavad Gita? What do you think has happened? Yes. Somebody has. For me, it was Ojasvi Prabhu. He was Chirag Prabhu's. I used to work for Chirag Prabhu. So Ojasvi Prabhu is Chirag Prabhu's older brother. So he was my boss's older brother. He gets Brijesh, you coming Friday? Prabhu, no, I'm not Prabhu. Ojasvi bhai, I have this issue. I'll come. One day he says, what are you doing tomorrow? And I was just casually said nothing. He said, then you're coming to Bhakti Vriksha. I said, oh my goodness, I've fallen into trap. Because he's my boss's older brother, I can't piss him off. So I have to go. So I went there. I was sitting down. It was class. I had no idea what class was. I didn't understand anything. But Prashadam, amazing. So next time, I told him, Ojasvi bhai, I'm coming to the Bhakti Vriksha. And he's like, must be really, he's getting into Krishna consciousness. But nothing. So I went there. And that day, Jagannath Ram Prabhu was giving a class. And that day, after that day, I did not even miss one class of Bhakti Vriksha because that person, first I was pushed by Ojasvi Prabhu, second I was given that knowledge by Jagannath Ram Prabhu. So, we all are in Krishna consciousness. We don't understand what influence we can have on people. Like literally, we underestimate ourselves, really underestimate. So, the only way we can catch-22 circle we can break is by causeless mercy of the devotees. We don't understand how incredibly important devotee association is for us. Devotee's mercy. I can tell you about myself. All my devotional service is only because of the association with devotees. Nothing else. Literally nothing else. Only because of the association. Somebody asked me to do this class, do this, read this, do Bhakti Vaibhav, do Bhakti Shastri. Somebody has pushed me, somebody has asked me, somebody has inspired me to do it. So what you do and say every day in your life to people, you can actually give them a choice to go either towards Maya or towards Krishna. Now, knowledge, so for example, there is a colleague of mine, he's from South America. So, one day during lunchtime, I didn't go to the lunch kitchen and I was having my lunch at my desk and I was reading Bhagavatam and there was a verse, I can't remember, but I was reciting it a little louder just for me to remember it for preaching purpose. So he came, I don't even remember which verse was it, but he came, he said, what are you doing? And I said, oh, I'm reading. Then I looked at him and said, what should I tell him? I said, I'm reading scriptures. He said, okay, what are you reading? So, I don't remember the verse, but Prabhupada's purport, everything has some amazing things. So, in that Prabhupada's purport, he says, we all are struggling. Like in here, look in here. This Prabhupada says, living entities serving material energy are struggling for existence of happiness, and it is all illusion. So, something similar was there. And he looked at me, he said, what do you mean? I said, we all are struggling. He said, no, I'm not. He said, I'm not struggling. And so what would you say to him? For example, he says, I have an amazing job, amazing wife, amazing kids. Got a beautiful house. I live in Australia. I'm really not struggling. So what do you tell him? What do you think you should tell? Like anyone who says like that?
This is temporary.
Yes, exactly. It is temporary. So I said that. What else we will say? Tell him. It's temporary, but what else? Well, how can we make it more real for him?
One day everyone has to leave.
Yes, we have to. All we have to go. All of us we have to go. What else I can tell him? Just to tell him the reality.
What if tomorrow a problem comes?
Yes.
Face it.
Yes, beautiful. What if tomorrow something happens to you? You see around us. No? What else can I tell him? I told him, "Do you get sick?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Is that really happy moment?" He said, "No. That is struggle." Then I told him about, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Doshanu Darshanam, I said, we have birth, death, old age and disease. These are all struggles. And he looked at me, he goes, "No, they're not. I don't know what you're reading, Brijesh." And he just walked off. And I was sitting there thinking, oh my goodness, what happened? This guy completely, literally, it's like, those leaves where you throw water and it doesn't stick on it, it goes down. That's exactly what happened to this guy. He just left. He said, "Nah, that's all rubbish." Then I was sharing this with someone senior in the temple, and they said to me, "That's okay. You have to remember, everybody is at a certain stage of his life where he is not yet ready, like it's not ripened as yet, ripe fruit." So when you go up on the tree, if it's ripe mango, you touch it and it comes out. And if it's green mango, you have to pull it. Sometimes the whole branch is about to break. Then you have to cut it like somehow, break it. It's hard. Why is it hard? Because it's not ripe as yet. So some people are not ripe. They are not ready for the thing. So we have to remember in our preaching as well, we should not waste our time in giving them philosophical knowledge to people who are not yet ready. But what we can do for them? Prashadam, we can give the prashadam and we can pray for them. And I'm not joking. For example, if someone who is very, I was in Harinam, I took all my Bhakti, most of my Bhakti Raksha people to Harinam on a Friday night, cancelled the class, went for Harinam. And everybody was dancing, it was amazing. Flinders Street Station in front of that. So as soon as I got there, there was this Australian guy who was standing right at the back, and I stood there, and he looked at me, he goes, "Are you like this? Are you?" I said, "Yes." He said, "I don't understand. What's the point? This is a fake God. This is fake. Everything. This is fake." He's a Christian. He was not even Christian. He was atheist. But he goes, "This is all fake. You're misleading people." And I said, "No." So I was like, "Oh, it's an opportunity." So I rolled up my sleeves and I stood with him for almost 25 minutes. I told him everything that I have learned from, science of self-realization all the way up to, whatever I could go to, But after all that discussion, he said, "Rubbish." He walked off. And I realized that 25 minutes, I should have just given him, he was angry at me, he walked off angry. Because at that moment I did not realize where he is. Is he ready? That's why we should, when you go to a salesperson, first of all they ask you, what is your need? Yeah? The best sales pitch is you find out what they need. And then then you mold your pitch based on what they need. And then you become a very good salesperson. We have to be a really good salesperson for Krishna, because we are not doing it for money, we are doing it to please Krishna. So I realized that guy was not a ripened fruit. So that 25 minutes, I could have distributed few books. Or I would have given him a lot of love. And I would have said, "You know what? I was exactly the same." I told him I was exactly the same. And I think I prayed to the Lord that one day you realize. And as soon as he walked off, I prayed for him. I was angry as well because he wasted 25 minutes of my time. Then I thought, no. I said, "Krishna, I don't know why he was standing next to me. I don't know what I said. But you know that my intention was not to impress him. My intention was only to get him to be open to understand this. Then I realized suddenly, God reciprocated straight away. In my head, it came. He was standing here listening to Harinam for 25 minutes, right behind them, and there were full-on Harinams happening. His soul is getting it. His spiritual life has already started. So, what happened is, Srila Prabhupada in here says, the living entities serving material energy are struggling hard for existence, which is presented as illusion. Now, problem is, why is it as illusion? There is there is happiness in this world, apparently. Temporary, but there is. But what we call happiness is actually not happiness, it's actually relief from pain. One day, if boss is not at work, no one is going to say anything to me today. I'm just going to do my work. Otherwise, boss will come and disturbs here, there, and everywhere. So, happiness, it's not happiness, it's actually relief from pain. And it is called illusion. There is a verse in Chatushloki Bhagavatam. What was that verse? Completely blank. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So there was a verse which says, Rate ratam yat pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani yat tad vidyadhatmano mayam yatha bhasho yatha tamaha. Anything not related to Krishna is considered to be a shadow in the darkness. It's actually not real. Anything that is not directly related to Krishna is actually not real. So, for example, if I'm saying a plus b whole square is a square plus b square plus 2ab, as long as I can connect that to Krishna, that is real. Somebody will say, Prabhu, this is illogical. Some science person might say this is illogical, How can you say anything that is not related to thing is not, it's actually illusion. In quantum physics, not even quantum physics, you don't have to go to quantum physics, normal physics, like, light, I'll quickly explain because it's a technical thing. Light acts as wave as well as particle. Light is a wave and a particle both. So, when does light act as wave and when it acts as particle depends on who is watching it. If you are watching it from a perspective of particle, the light will pretend to be particle. It will act as particle. As soon as you are watching it from the lens of wave, it is wave. So what is light? Particle or wave? It's actually both. So Krishna, when you ask Krishna, all I want is, I don't want to know you. I just want to know happiness. You give me money, name, fame, adoration. You give me that. Krishna goes, okay. That's why there is a verse. Ye yathamam prapadyante tam tadaiva bhajamiham. I reciprocate as much as to the degree of your surrender. Now, that is why it is called illusion. Illusion is, what is illusion? Illusion is something which you see from one's perspective looks different, other perspective looks different. That's called illusion. So Krishna, when he presents Maya to us, Maya is what? Maya is Maya. That means something that is not. Something which is not. So if we are looking for happiness in this material world, it is Maya. We can't find happiness in this world. Why can't we find happiness in this world? It's like, I want to swim, but I don't want to get wet. I want to swim, but I don't want to get wet. It's not possible. In here, you cannot be happy. And then somebody will say, oh, you guys are so pessimistic. You see only glass half empty. We are not pessimists. We are not saying that it's sad and just this whole world is sad. If you look at devotees, they're jubilant. You look at them dancing in Harinam on the street. They don't care. They have no fear. They just dance. What is that? That is called bliss. That is called happiness, because it is not dependent on my time, place, and circumstance. Everywhere is the same. There is so one day when Maharaj Chitraketu was going in his plane with his wives and stuff, and he saw Shivji giving a class on dispassion, tyag, and he was giving a class while Parvati Ma was sitting on his lap. Who is Parvati Ma? Maya Durga Ma, Maya Devi, in herself. She is sitting there and he's talking about tyag, how to have dispassion, So Maharaj Chitraketu smiled. In response, Shivji understood what he's saying. He smiled as well. Parvati Ma got really upset. She goes, "Oh my goodness, how can you laugh at my husband? Do you know who he is? You don't deserve to be in this body. So you go and become a demon." And then Maharaj Chitraketu said, "Thank you," like this, and he just bowed his head down, he left. Now Parvati Ma was furious, and then suddenly she's more furious because she couldn't understand this guy. Like, who is this guy, man? I cursed him, and he just bowed his head and he's left. Then Bhagavan Shiv says this very famous verse. He says, "Narayana para sarve na kutasyan bibhati swarga pavarga narkeshu apitulyat darshanam." He says, Narayana para, people who are lovers of Narayana, who are favor of Narayana, they are na kutasyan bibhati. Bibhati means they have no fear. And what they have no fear about? Swarga, apavarga, narakeshu, apitulyat darshanam. Swarga, we know what swarga is. They don't care whether they put in swarga, nark, or apavarga. Apavarga means material world. Do you know why it's called apavarga? Apavarga. Pa, in our Hindi Varnamala, there is a thing called pa, pha, ba, bha, ma. So pa is for parishram. Fa is for fena. When parishram means hard work, like compared to donkey. Donkey works really, really, really hard. To a point he starts foaming from his mouth. Pa, pa, ba, bha. Then he gets scared because he will not get food, anything. And ma is maran, mrityu. So pa, bha, ba, bha, ma, where is it existing? In material world. So apavarga means where there is none of these things, which is called spiritual. Swarga, apavarga, narkeshu, apitulyate darshanam. You take them to Golok Vrindavan or you put them in Narka. They have no issues. They are called Narayana Para. And those people who are Narayana Para, who are favor of Narayana, who are in bhakti of Narayana, they never live in illusion because for them it doesn't matter. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Shikshashtam 8th verse says, Ashdishche vapadratam pinashtumam adarshnan marmahatam karotuva yatha tatha vidadhatu lampato mat prananathastu sevana paraha. He says, "Oh my Lord, you kick me or you embrace me. You do whatever you want. I am your eternal servant. I will still love you." That is called Narayana Para. And that is where we want to get to. But right now what we are doing is, we have one foot in the bhakti and one foot in Aston Martin car or whatever, one foot in investment properties, one foot in bhakti now. What will happen is, sometime, have you seen that movie where Ajay Devgan goes on the 2 motorbikes? For one shot he could do it, but he can't do it forever. So one time you have to change. You have to take your foot off one boat and cut them to the other boat. And we all will have that choice. The good thing is, if we are very close to our Guru, Sadhu and Shastras, that means we are in our material boat. We still want, house and beautiful house, beautiful family, beautiful cars, name, adoration. But we also like Srila Prabhupada. And we are still attracted to Srila Prabhupada. We are still attracted to devotees. What does that mean? That means you are in your boat, which is material boat, but you are rowing next to Srila Prabhupada's boat. So the day you realize that my boat, no matter what I do, it will sink. When you are really, really, really scared, then you will jump from this boat to that boat. The only thing you have to do is don't go away from the other boat, because then when you realize in the middle of the ocean that no, this ship is sinking, you have no other option. So that's why we do. We are in material world, we are in illusion, we are still doing devotional service, which is Mishra devotional service, mixed bhakti. Keep doing it, but always remember to row the boat closer to devotees, because then when you will have choice, you will jump. So one day there is a Braj Bihari Prabhu, do you guys know? Braj Bihari Das in Chopati, GBC. He's in GBC now. GEV, Govardhan Eco Village. So he was selling. One day he went to Austin and he was doing a class, and he stayed at one family's house for 8 hours. So he got in the morning, had breakfast prasadam, and then after 8 hours or 7 hours he had a class. So he stayed there. He was reading his Bhagavatam, and the lady came and said, Prabhuji, please, my son, my 9-year-old son, you should come, 9 or 10-year-old son, you should please speak to him 5 minutes time. He goes, okay, that's fine. So give me 10 minutes because I'm reading this, 15 minutes, then I'll tell you. So after 15 minutes, he went downstairs and realized that the boy is not there. He went somewhere. He went back and started doing, and the boy came, then he was right in the middle of it doing his Gayatri. So he said, like later. And then once he finished Gayatri, he went down and guy is gone, the kid is gone. So anyway, when he was leaving that town, he had an opportunity to speak to that kid for half an hour. And he was surprised, because this kid was talking about Ramayana, Mahabharata, he was talking about Srimad Bhagavatam, he was reading Srimad Bhagavatam. His knowledge was so incredible that Vishwahari Prabhu, I don't know what I could have given him. He already has everything. He was very happy, and suddenly he had to leave. And next time when he met this family, he held the hand of the father. He said, come here. You never, sorry, before that. So he left, and then he was driving in the car, and he told the other guy, he said, man, this family is amazing. This kid is like exceptional preacher, like he knows everything, his concepts are clear. And then the other devotee said, Prabhu, you don't know, this kid has cancer, and he only has very small amount of time. So they found out 2 years ago, he's doing it, but we don't know how much time he has. He might even have one day, might be only 1 hour. And Prabhu was shocked. What happened, man? This is like, he didn't know, he prayed for him, whatever. Next time when he met him, he grabbed him, he said, Prabhu, you never told me that this is happening in your house. Then this person said, Prabhu, you came to our house giving us Srimad Bhagavatam. Why would we burden you for our issues? We know this is temporary, this is all, So he left, okay. They had a lot of discussion. He was in tears, and obviously he prayed for him and he left. And then he realized that what happened here was, they were atheists. Somebody told him they were like completely materialistic. When this happened to them, during that time, they were attending morning programs of Srimad Bhagavatam before they found out the son has cancer. So as soon as they found out the son has cancer, they knew that this boat is sinking. But guess what? They were next to the Bhakti boat. So they jumped. He goes, now this boy is fully protected. Whether he lives or he dies, he's fully protected. And that is why we should create an environment for people who are even atheists to come and sit and have a prasadam with us. When they should look at us, they should say, oh, this guy is weird. He wears tilak and whatever, but this guy is amazing. He loves me. We don't have to love them give, but we should make them feel very extremely valued. And that is bhakti. Not because we have any ill intentions, because we have good intentions. Because what will happen is, that person, if they get connected to anyhow bhakti, their life is set. Srila Prabhupada says in here, but those in the spiritual energy are placed under direct service of the Lord in eternal life, complete knowledge and perpetual bliss. The Lord desires, as he says, the Lord desires, as he has directly said in Bhagavad Gita, that all conditioned souls rotting in the kingdom of material energy come back to him by giving up all engagements in the material world. That means if we love Rasgulla, we have to come back. So what does it mean? We should stop loving Rasgulla? No. We should always remember that Rasgulla is only, I will only eat that Rasgulla which has been offered to the Lord. It's a Mahaprasad only. If you have attachment to Mahaprasad, no issues. But if you have attachment to Rasgulla, that's an issue. So we have to give up all engagements in material world in order to go back. And this is the most confidential part of knowledge. But problem is, Bhaktya mam avijanati yavanyaschashmi tatvata tato ma tatvato nyatva vishite tadanantaram. Only bhaktas can understand. But this can be understood only by pure devotees. And only such devotees can enter the kingdom of God. And if you think about it, I was writing, there was this prayer. Have you heard of this prayer? Hari Hari Bifale Janam Gainu Manushya Janma Paya Radha Krishna Na Bhajiya Janiya Shunya Vishkhaina. There was Srila Prabhupada was singing this bhajan one day, and he kept singing this. Ki Manushya Janma Paya Radha Krishna Na Bhajiya Janiya Shunya Vishkhaina. That means I have spent my life uselessly obtaining a human birth and not having worshipped Radha and Krishna. I have knowingly drunk poison. He kept singing the same line, like 8 times. So, and then afterwards, one of the devotee girls, Prabhu, Swamiji, same, what happened? You forgot the lines? He said, no, I was meditating on it. Just reading that I am Manushya, I am Manushya and I am a human being, but I am failing to do my dharma as a human being by not spending my life in the Hari Bhajan. And then he goes, Golokera Premadhan, Hari Nam Sankirtan. Golokera Premadhan. The wealth of Golok is Hari Nam Sankirtan. And then he kept singing the same line again and again and again and again. And then he said, that is the other reason why I ate like 10 times the same words. Golokera Premadhan, Hari Nam Sankirtan, because I was meditating on it. If Prabhupada has to meditate on that, imagine what we have to do. He had to, because he's saying, I need to understand it. Now Prabhupada is saying. So, there is another thing in here. So what happens is, one of the things that Srila Prabhupada talks about is why is it that we do this and we are still conditioned soul? And why are we rotting in material energy? As a devotee, can we say that we are truly happy? No, we are not truly happy. Why aren't we happy? When it says that Harinam Sankirtan is the wealth, Harinam Sankirtan is the wealth of Golok Vrindavan, then why aren't we happy? So, the reason why we are not happy is because of, we are chanting, chanting the holy name is associating with Krishna. Then why aren't we happy? Because, what do you think? Why aren't we happy? If we are chanting the holy name, which is in Shishashtakam, Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatra Vitani Mita Smarane Nakala. So, Nam Akari Bahuda, there are plenty of names. Akari Bahuda, Nija Service, Nirjit Sarva Shaktis. And Krishna, you have invested all your energies in them. Nam Akari Bahuda, Nija Sarva Shaktis, Tatra Vitani Mita Smarane Nakala. There is no rules and regulation. And then in the end, Mahaprabhu says, Etadrishi Tabkaba Bhagwan Mamapi Durdevim Idrisham Ihajani Nanuraga. I am so full that you have given me these names, hundreds and thousands of names, they are full of potency, your own energy, but I have no taste for them. Why don't we have taste for them? Do you know why we don't have? We are chanting Harinam, real, it has all energy, potency, energy of Krishna himself. Why aren't we still happy? Why aren't we in bliss? Because of what?
Not chanting the Shuddha name yet.
We are not chanting pure name. Yes, we are not chanting the Shuddha Naam because of Namaparad. Because of Namaparad. You know, it is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must carefully guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success, which is Krishna Prem. So the one goal is Krishna Prem, and we are not tasting it because otherwise one name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. I should leave this body and go back to Goloka Vrindavan. But because of aparad, nam aparad, chanting, there are three stages. No? First stage of bhakti is nam aparad stage, where we are chanting the holy name, and we are chanting, but we are chanting it out with all the aparad, all the 10 aparad, or one of the 10 aparad, or 5 of the 10 aparad. So, but if I am chanting with aparad, should I stop chanting? No. And how do we know that? There is a verse in here. Nam aparad yuktanam namani eva haratyagam aishwaranta prayuktani tani evartha karanicha. That means the chanting the holy name of the Lord is meant for those who are committing offenses, because in the beginning, even though one may be chanting with offense, gradually will become free from the offense. If somebody is chanting, for example somebody is chanting with the WhatsApp and scrolling and Hare Krishna, because one finger is out here, we can use that finger to scroll. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. That's completely now, it's very disrespectful. But this is better than not chanting. I'm not saying we should chant with aparad, but the only way to get rid of that aparad is through more chanting. So if you are struggling to chant, somebody was telling me, Prabhu, I would rather chant 1 round properly than 16 round improperly. So what should, according to this, what should we tell them? You would rather chant 16 round imperfectly than 1 perfectly. And then there is a Mataji, she goes to me, Prabhu, I don't accept it, because then I'm wasting my 2 hours. And no, you're not wasting your time at all. You give 2 hours to Krishna every day. That is never going to be waste. It is, you give 2 hours and 1 hour is struggle. Even 1 minute you do proper chanting, it will elevate you to the next level. And that's why we have to understand that there's another verse that I wanted to quickly talk about, and then what's the time, Prabhu?
9:20, 10 minutes.
Okay. So, Ekaseve mamanshaya jivaseve mahamate bandhuse vidyayanadir vidyachastathetara. O most intelligent Uddhav, the living entity called Jiva is part and parcel of me. But due to ignorance, he has been suffering in material energy since time immemorial. But by knowledge, he can be liberated. How easy is it? It's a simple thing. You have knowledge, you will be liberated. Do we have knowledge? Yes, we do. We have a knowledge of, I am this body, but I'm not this body, I'm my spirit soul. And what is the dharma of spirit soul? Jivere Swarupa Hoy. Krishna Nityadas, dear servant. The actual position of me is being servant. If I know this, that means I have knowledge. Then why am I not liberated yet? We understand, like we all dedicating our lives for Srila Prabhupada's mission. You guys are doing amazing. Prabhu, this, when I looked at this, I was like, this is like incredible. I haven't seen anything like this before. It's incredible. Like this pleases devotee, this pleases Krishna. You know, you spending so much of time, Prabhu, I'm telling you, you guys are doing incredible in here. And Krishna and Guru Maharaj will be very happy. I know, it is incredible. They will be really happy. Because you are trying to attract people through this. And in here, we have knowledge. But we have to go one step, a little bit further, which is called, one is Gyan, which is knowledge. One is Vigyan, which is realized knowledge. I am not this body, is a knowledge. But living with that thing that I am not this body is called realized knowledge. For example, if I am not this body, then anything to do with this body is not real. Because I am not this body, anything to do with this body is not me as well, right? For example, I'm not this body, my wife, all the upadhi means designation. Sarva upadhi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhakti uttama. So, upadhi, I have an upadhi, I'm a husband, I'm a son, I'm an uncle, I'm father, and I'm a brother. Yesterday was Raksha Bandhan, brother. And I have all these designations, but those designations are not me. Next birth, I might have different parents, different wife, different kids. All of those are different. Understanding that and living with that is knowledge. But some people take it otherwise. I want to live like this, I have nothing to do with my family, I don't want to do anything with them. That's not what Bhagavad Gita says. Bhagavad Gita says, these people, whoever we have in our life, they are gift from God. Somebody was telling me I had a worst boss, Prabhu, you don't understand how bad this person is. I said to him, your boss, your wife, your boss, your kids, your parents are because of your own karma. If you have a bad boss, guess who is responsible for it? You. And this boss has come to purify you. Imagine if I go to the gym and I say, I'm going to do dumbbells with a pen. I put a pen in my hand, I was like, I'm going to build my muscle. How much muscle would I build with a pen in my hand? No. The more weight it is, the bigger my muscle is. More weight I'm going to do, the bigger my muscle will get. So more problems that we have in our life, if we don't lose our heart, then we will become spiritually very strong. Look at every problems in your life as a guidance from God. Kunti Maharani, when she prays, give me all the troubles, Krishna, because when you are there, when problems are, you are with me. She is not asking for troubles. Like, we get scared. I don't even say that verse because I get scared. Krishna, what if he listens to me? Give me all the problems. I don't even say that verse. But is Kunti Maharani asking for troubles? No, she is not interested in troubles. She is interested in Krishna. If Krishna's coming means I had to get to troubles, that's so big. That's what it means. Some people say, oh, you bhaktas, you want troubles. No, we don't want troubles. But we want Krishna. But if it means that I have to go through trouble to get Krishna, so be it. Chanting 16 rounds in the morning, it's not easy task. Because we are faced with ourselves. Here, when I'm doing service, all of you guys are looking at me. You're reciprocating with me. I'm getting my validation. You're saying yes, somebody is smiling. But when you're chanting, there's no validation. We are on our own. And that struggle is going to take us back to God. That struggle is going to get us out of this material energy. And the Narad Muni, he had no qualification as such. But because his mother served the thing, the people gave them causeless mercy. We all had to depend on causeless mercy to come here. Like I told you, Ojasvi Prabhu and stuff, causeless mercy. Now we have to give that causeless mercy to people, and how can we do that is, we should pray for them. Somebody who is an atheist, somebody who is really bad, like bad person, pray for them. Right, left, right and center. And then, according to Sruti, Supreme Lord is unlimited energy without effort from him, and those are described in the 3 principles. So here, Narad Muni is telling Vyasadeva that, what? Now you understand what is missing. Now you write Srimad Bhagavatam, which will purify you, because purify you and purify the whole world who is listening to it. It's called Amal Purana. So you guys are sitting here, there is immense purification in it. And the troubles that we face in our world, when we go back to our world, those things we will be able to really face when we read Srimad Bhagavatam every day, when we chant every day. One of the things that I learned from Braj Bihari Prabhu, he was saying, I was sharing with Jaydev Prabhu the other day, that he says, Krishna I know today I don't feel like chanting. Krishna, I've been chanting for 20 minutes, but I haven't thought of you, of thinking about my boss, my this, my that. Please, Krishna, I am not feeling like chanting today, but because I know this chanting is going to please you, so I will chant. I will do my best till the last beat to concentrate on you. When you have this feeling and you chant, then your chanting will slowly improve, because you're not doing it for your own satisfaction, you're doing it for Krishna. So we'll stop here. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.